Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, we back. We back. Welcome to the lab, Scoop Tall Boy. Sorry for being slightly late. Had some technical difficulties.
No, it wasn't no technical
Oh,
difficulties.
there
Call
you
it like
go.
it
Yeah,
is. Tell it like it is.
trying to bring someone else on to have the discussion with us to provide some additional context. And the man didn't know what day it was, didn't have the link to get into the studio. Oh my gosh! And y'all, people who know me or know Tall Boy know who the person is that we talking about that we was running late, who was trifling. Ladies and gentlemen, shouts out to EB. God, dog, what's up, EB? We waiting on you. We
Oh
waiting on you.
man, I was having technical difficulties.
Okay. Here,
Right.
let me take this overlay out of your way here because we can't see all of you, so we won't
Oh
do that
yeah,
to
yeah.
you.
Oh, there we
There we
go.
go. Okay, gentlemen,
Can
how
you?
you doing? How you doing?
Uh,
Wednesday.
Doing well, doing well. How are you?
Okay, you sound better tonight too, Eric. Nice microphone setup and the soundproof barrier that you rock in there.
Oh damn, you can see that? What?
We can see everything. We can see
I'm just,
everything.
and welcome to this episode of.
Oh,
No,
look,
yeah.
he gonna take over the show too. He gonna act like he leading the charge. That's okay. We're not mad at you, though, brother.
No,
So,
it's a
ladies and
good day
gentlemen,
today.
we gonna talk a little technology tonight again. First show of the lab was a great show. Great show. Appreciate everyone who joined. Appreciate everyone who contributed. We did live streaming and we had a really good conversation. Today we are going to talk about the differences between Android and iOS. Yes, this could get into a heated debate because we got some passionate folks. I'm part of the cult of Mac. Look, I worked for the company for 8 years. I'm a Steve Jobs guy. But we're not gonna make it personal. Corey, you sleep over there, brother?
Nope. Nope.
What you
I'm right
doing?
here.
What you doing some research probably right now. You're probably looking up some specs
No,
on
I'm
on, on
actually
your
trying to
device.
share it to my personal page since we couldn't get it up and running. I didn't follow the instructions either.
We'll blame that on Eric too. It's all EB's fault, but that's okay. We're not gonna talk too bad about him. So yeah, we want to talk a little bit about difference between Android, iOS. Personal opinions is all it is. We don't give biased reviews. We tell you exactly what we like, what we use. EB is here because from a technical perspective, he supported both platforms, so he's got experience helping people navigate both devices, both operating systems. So let's start there, man. Let's start with our guest, Mr. Burks. What you got, man? Tell us about your experience. What device are you rocking right now in your pocket specifically, though?
I got the iPhone, the new one, the
Oh,
11 Max, 11 whatever it is, 11
oh
XS
my
Max,
God! Hold on,
whatever it is.
hold on, brother. You
Whoop,
don't know which one you got?
the 11 Max,
That would be the 11 Pro.
Pro Max. That's right,
Yes.
11
Oh
Pro
my
Max. I could slap a baby seal with that, but I won't do that because I like animals. Anyway, yeah, let's talk tech. Let's talk in regards to support. So basically, when these first came out, iPhones came out. I supported a team. As for business in our business environment, we would give out Androids and we would give out at the time Blackberries. We won't go there, but and then we would
Wow,
also,
BlackBerry. So
yeah,
okay, you flashing back. You old.
yeah, and then we would get out iPhones. And I'm telling you, the the amount of calls that we got in for supporting the and not when we talk BlackBerry, but supporting the Android is just it was just horrendous. Oh my, I mean, you get a call every 5 minutes because no one knew how to configure it. And I guess technical with the iPhone, we barely got a call. Plug and play.
Yeah.
It thing is ready to go. People are in there at downloading apps and running music right off the back. Um, but in terms of support, I mean, we were constantly on the phone telling people, showing people how to configure their phones, pulling their emails, and doing all that jazz. So personally, you know, I've rocked them both, and they both do different things depending on what I want to do. They both do different things. For me, I mean, and I'm a gadget type of guy. I got to have the gadgets.
Yeah.
I this 11 Pro is my go-to phone now when I'm not even shooting the camera because I like videography and things like that. I'm actually shooting. My phone is actually streaming to my computer right now. In this sense, it's the
Okay.
iPhone 10 Max XS Max. So
So
You
you're shooting in
look at the video
you're shooting in 720p right now. Okay.
right
I mean,
now.
and you know, you think about it, that's the whole thing about the difference between Android and iOS, right? If you're able to work behind the scenes, work in the technology and the settings and all of those administrative features, and you want to tweak your device to be exactly like you want it, more than likely you're going to go hit that Android. But if you just want it to work every time you pick it up, do the exact same thing like it's supposed to every time you turn it on. Look at Corey over, look at Tallboy over there having a problem every time I say something. He's holding his teeth.
I'm not.
Quite literally, right?
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
there's an inside
don't
joke
go
on
there,
that
don't
one
go
right there,
there, don't
folks.
go
He's
there.
holding his teeth.
And I guess, and it's funny because you guys are iPhone users, iOS users, and for Android users, I guess for us it's ease, it's comfortability. For us, whereas Eric was just saying that they were having a lot of problems with trying to figure out how to work it or whatever.
I'm talking about the end user though, not us as support. End users would call us and saying, "Hey, how do we configure this thing?" I guess what I'm saying, user and from the end user experience, they had problems. The iPhone, we had less calls on people trying to configure their phones than we did Androids. Now, do I have iPhones? Yes. Am I particularly an iPhone person? No, because depending on what I like them both for different things. I guess what I was talking about is and I apologize for cutting you off. I'm talking about from an end user experience and supporting an end user. We got more calls for end users and configuring their Androids. Think about when you first got your Android. Was it complicated for you?
No, it wasn't. And it's funny that you say that because as I was doing my research for this show today, they're saying that Android owns 75% of the market and iOS only has 23% of the market. So I want to make sure I get this right. As of 2019, Android had 25% of the market, iOS had 23, and then there was another company called KaiOS. They have 2% of the market, which is Nokia. So For you to say that, my question is, those people that went from iPhone to Android and that had an iPhone, did they switch over back to Android and they had an iPhone prior?
I apologize. Let me go back. Okay, so when you work for
research.
No. What I'm saying is
he came through with some documentation. I love it.
Put it this way. So when I was working for the city of Sacramento, they provided cell phones. We provided cell phones for the end use for the teams, for the PM teams or whatever the teams. What I'm saying is we issued out phones.
Mm-hmm.
So we issued some people got Android, some people got iPhones.
Mm-hmm.
People that got the Android said, "Get me the iPhone, please."
So here's the question. Were the people who received those iPhones, were they the one that received the Androids, were they already iPhone users? That's the question that I had.
No, they were not. And these are, I'm talking about
Android users and were still having Android.
I'm saying people back then were they had no Kias. These people were like, let's go back. This is iPhones just coming out. Not just coming out. I think
this is just when we started moving from Blackberries and the large keyboards, right? And look, the Blackberry was a fantastic device.
Yeah,
right.
And then you have to think about it. And I will go back to what you were saying, Tallboy. Android is so decentralized, right? There's I think the majority of folks aren't even running the latest version of the operating system.
Correct.
Right? And for whatever reason, right? For whatever reason. And again,
the honest reason why they're not, because we don't do the updates as fast as iOS gives the updates out. Let's just call it what it is.
And again, I think there was some of the reason behind some of that is because Android users tweak their phones and customize their phones so much that it works a certain way on a certain OS, and if you upgrade or change, it'll break it, right? So again, it's more those tech savvy folks for the most part who are going through each iteration, the what is it, the Marshmallow, the Oreo, all the different iterations of Android OS, as opposed to people, generally speaking, that pick up an iPhone, hardly use it as a phone. Let's just be honest, right? We use it as a camera and as a video device. But it just works every single time the exact same way. So it's easier, not necessarily better, but we're
Right.
just saying that, for the most part, I think it's easier
Ease of use. Right.
because
Right.
so you even think about camera options on an Android in a Google Play store. There are more developers creating apps for each action.
So I have numbers here. So let's first
You got some number. Talk some numbers because I think you know where I'm going. I think you know where I'm going. Go
So
ahead.
let's do this first. For the ones that are watching, you may or may not know. Back in 2003, there was a gentleman by the name of Andy Rubin who came out with the Android system, and it was really designed for cameras, but then they switched it over to iPhones. They said that Andy Rubin and that team were struggling so much that they couldn't even pay their rent in the building that they were making this Android software, shall we say. And Google saw this new technology and they purchased them. Well, by 2007, Steve Jobs dropped the iPhone on a lot of people. So that's when everyone was like, hey, cool, this is the new thing, but it was expensive. And from my understanding, the very first phone for iPhone was the iPhone OS 1. And at that time, at 2007, $499 was a lot for a phone. Whereas
it still really is.
It's still expensive.
It's still, yeah.
Whereas when Android dropped their first Android phone was called the T-Mobile G1 or the HTC Dream for international users. And I have some photos. So as soon as I get a chance, I'll shoot them over to you and you can try and get them uploaded so you can show the two different phones.
Yeah.
Now, it's really a personal preference to the people that are watching because I don't want no well, I'm Android or
you don't want anybody hitting you up in the DMs just yelling at you. Okay, they won't do that.
Personal preference. So it's personal preference now. So for Android, because I'm an Android guy, it's volume of choice and range of customization for Android, and then for iPhone is the design and the ease of use for iPhone. To what Eric was saying. Now. When it comes to the apps, they said that Android has 3.5 million apps that have been sent to the developer, that the developers have made, and they have sent them into the Google Play Store, whereas iPhone has 2.5 million, but the only difference between their 2.5 and our 3.5 is Apple is better at weeding out and making it harder for just any old app just to come into your system.
I think that's important.
That closed system. Well, as we have always called it, a closed system. It benefits the end consumer because there's less possibility. To be honest with you, of rogue code in somebody's app. You limit and you lose some possible choices. Apple gets a bigger cut of the developer's revenue. It is what it is. One of those catch-22s of being in the business. But both platforms, app developers, they're doing okay, right? They made some money and they're doing all right. If you know how to code in Swift or whatever the mobile operating environment is, and you get your app up in the Google Play or the iOS App Store, you're gonna be okay. You're definitely gonna be all right.
And so let's talk about what we think, why those numbers are the way they are too. Because here again, from a support stance on that, we have more requests to have an iPhone as their business phone than we do Android phones. So here's my thoughts. My thoughts on it is people want the iPhone, but you're right, it's expensive. I mean, I'm telling you, this was expensive, and it could be a cost point that most people don't like. More people don't have one because come on, it's over $1,000. I'm gonna tell you right now. For this right here, I got the highest drive space.
Well, how much space do you have in there?
I want to say this is 256 or 5 something. Let me see. Go in here. But look how easy it is for me to get to my.
So you have 256 gigs. That's internal.
I have 512 gigs. So that's
But so remember, unfortunately, I mean, and I'm gonna play the devil's advocate, the Doubting Thomas. We can't upgrade ours. No, I know where you're going. I'm about to hit him with it. See, we're stuck. right? We can't go. We can't upgrade. We can't go further.
Can't get
You
no
can
space.
easily put in a micro SD card in any of your device.
Right. So go ahead, finish your statement.
No,
However,
no.
I'm
however,
about to get
Oh,
him.
see.
However-
Oh, get him. Hold on. Go ahead, Tart. Go ahead.
However, I can actually add more. I can. Okay, so I'm a photographer, right? So I grab my SD card, and if I want to get pictures in here, guess what? Boom.
Where's the string music?
What?
Okay, I said string music. I got you. So I understand all of that. But see, like for me, I have the LG V60. This phone right here. It's the dual screen foldable phone. It's the 2 screens. I have automatically off the bat 128 gigs of internal memory, and which 99 gigs is usable. The rest of that is built the software that's using the phone. But I have expandable up to 2 terabytes with a micro
For external, right?
For external. So you telling me that you can just drag and drop? I remember when in my younger days that people would say my iPhone is filled and I have to delete apps or I have to delete pictures. All I got to do is just slap in.
But what size space do they get though? You see what I'm saying? Like right, mine's 512 and I can't upgrade it. But you know what? I shoot raw video on this and I'm barely halfway through. So I don't need to upgrade in my personally.
But Eric, honestly, think about it. How many people are in a position like you think about an 18 to 24-year-old kid, think about the 25 to 35-year-old adult, and then think about that business person that's 35 to 45, and then think about those people that are starting to become seniors. They're going to get phones.
And that's the point I'm trying to make. And that was the exact category. That was the exact point I was trying to make. The cost. So the cost is probably what keeps more people from having the iPhone. That was my point I was trying to come across. Is it could be the cost point, the price point that keeps more people from having that phone. But you know what, Macintosh, Apple, they've been that way for years. They've had loyal, people. I'm telling you right now, I've had a MacBook Pro for literally 20 years, and that thing is still kicking. I got a new one. But I'm telling you,
so this was the first phone that I dropped, the iPhone OS 1. That was the very first phone that came out. And if I'm correct, if you Google it, I think it retails right now for about $800.
I don't think so.
$499.
I think it's going to be a little more than that. So I got this phone for free. No, so I got this because I worked for Apple, and the very first phone Steve Jobs gave every employee at Apple this first iPhone. I should have kept it, but I honestly believe that if I was to Google this and go on eBay.
I just Googled it. I think it's going for about $800 on eBay.
Man, look, but still, that's
somebody Google it, hit us in the comments. Let us know what iPhone OS 1 is going for right now. But you can see it. Now, the good thing is they did give you support all the way up until 2010 for a phone that released in 2007. So I look at all the features that it gives you. It looks nice, but
but again, it's price. It's the price point that keeps more people from getting it. I'm just saying. I'm saying it's the price point that keeps more people from getting it. And to me, like I said, I've had them all. I mean, like I like different phones for different shoot. I remember the flip phone. Shoot, they go back to the flip phone. I mean, with your phone with the 2 screens, it looks like they're going back to the flip phone. My thing is, there was a point in time when they said, "Hey, we want to have a small enough phone we can walk around with," and they were like huge.
Right?
They're going back to huge.
First it was small. Now it's bigger is better. Yeah. So like I told you, I did my research on this because I do this. So do you want me to talk about Android or do you want me to talk about Apple first?
You can talk about either one. I mean, like I said,
I think we've solidified the foundation. I think talking about why we are Apple fans, fanatics. We'd love to hear Mr. Android, Mr. Droid over there talk about what I'm more interested in hearing you talk about the phone you got, and then eventually we're going to talk about what Microsoft did today with their device. So
okay, so first I bought this phone here, as I showed you earlier, the LG V60 dual screen phone. It was 2 screens. I think the original phone, I got this the first week that we had quarantine. I literally drove to every T-Mobile store that was within well, I'm not gonna say every, but I went to about 6 or 7 T-Mobile stores that were open, and I literally had to call 611 just to find
Where's that?
and have it that Monday. So it dropped on Friday, and it's funny because I always looked at LG. People laugh LG out of the room, but I've always looked at LG as the
Vizio
or the Jaguar, because you never hear about their commercials. They never do promos, but you always see promos for Samsung. You always see promos for Pixel. You always see promos for Apple, but you never see a promo for any of the LG flagship phones.
At least not here in the States, right?
Right.
Probably somewhere else, but definitely not here in the States. You're right. I agree.
So I don't want to speak in it. Well, no, because I've been overseas and they've done massive rollouts for Huawei and Pixel abroad, but I've never seen an LG commercial, or even like at the train, bus stops. I've never seen that. So, I can at least say in certain parts of international, I can say I've never seen an LG rollout promo. So with this phone, this was the big thing because I went to CES last year in 2019, and I was able to touch the first foldable phone, and I forgot the name of it, and I will get that information to you before we end this show. I actually touched the first foldable phone that came out, but it never released, period.
You're not talking about the Samsung one, are you?
No, it's not the Samsung.
Okay, because I was going to talk bad about that one because there were some issues with that.
That was a $1,700 phone. No.
Yeah.
So I actually did a whole interview that's on my YouTube channel where I actually had the phone in my hand. We talked about the features. We were asking for a release date, and it just never came into fruition. So it was one of those test phones that are test products that hit CES that was talk of the town. And ever since then, it was all about who's going to come out with the foldable phone first. And it was Samsung who came out with the foldable phone first, but the price point was $1,700, $1,800. Who's about to pay that for a cell phone? That's pretty much buying a computer, shall we say.
Might as well, yeah.
This phone comes out, and the price point was $700 for the phone by itself, or you can pay the extra $100 and you can get the dual screen. So $700 for the phone, an extra $100 for the dual screen, and you get a magnetic charger right here that allows you to automatically connect it to the actual charger, and it's a magnetic charger, and it has a separate. I did something wrong.
Wait a minute. Did you just say that there's an option of having that phone without the dual screen?
Yes. So $7.99 for the phone by itself, or $8.99 to have the phone with the screen.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay.
I unfortunately dropped this phone 3 weeks ago and cracked the front part of this phone here, and I had the Spider-Man look on this phone, and I had to go ahead and pay that $99 because you can't buy the phone. You can't buy the case. No one knows where you can find this case at all. I think US Cellular had this case for $250. So I might as well just go ahead and insure it out, pay the $99, and Assurant just, insured me out and just gave me a new phone. So this phone for $899, and you got to think all flagship phones now are going for $1,000, $999, $1,000 plus. So for you to get a phone for under $1,000 in 2020, that's top notch, 120 hertz refresh rate screen that has 2 screens. So like right now, you see that both screens are open. I can literally tap the screen, and I can literally do YouTube, do Instagram at the same time. I can pull up one screen and have my Google Chrome or whatever I'm watching on one, I can have on the second one. So that was one of the cool features that sold me, because I could do 2 things. What they say, 2 chains, say 2 times or whatever. Like you can do 2 things at the same time.
Kill 2 birds with the same stone. Yeah, kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Right, exactly. So that was one of the key features for me on wanting to purchase this phone, on top of wanting to say I wanted to have the latest and greatest and I wanted to be first.
Yeah.
One of the other cool things about this phone, let me see if I can pull it up. It had the wide angle, which a lot of these new phones, only LG provides that wide angle camera view. They have, well, they used to have, well, don't quote me. Some of the previous phones had 5 camera screens, but I think they went with 4 camera lenses on there. So it has the triple rear screens. One is the 64 megapixel standard, a 13 megapixel wide angle, and then the front facing 10 megapixel front facing camera. So that was one of the cool things about this. And then it also has that no other phone has, the hi-fi, the quad DAC, to where when you're listening to music, you get a bass boost in your, so that you get your regular volume and then you get an extra boost. And this is one of the last phones, let me see if I can pull this out. This is one of the last phones that you actually get the 3.5 millimeter jack that's in here. So that's unheard of in 2020.
And I think that's really important. I think I'm glad you know, and that's what I was another point I was making. Not only the price point could be, because you're talking about people that you're talking about groups of people that like certain things for certain reasons, and then this is a good, like some people it's the price point. For some people like you, me, James, they're the features that are usable for you that kind of speak out to you. So some of those features that are items that are important for you or it pulls your attention. I like this one because of the camera, not just because it's the iPhone, but when I'm shooting, I don't have to go get me a pancake lens. I can just for the DSLR, I can just come like in a close tight space and still get my wide angle in a So we're looking at these things for different reasons. And I think if you did a measure or if you did metrics on why everybody likes what they buy, it's going to be really different. I think it's going to be really different. Price point being big, and then the features, in my opinion. But hey, let's do some metrics.
I love it.
Let me do this real quick. So these are the reasons why Apple or iPhones are better than Android, and then we'll do a few reasons why Android is better than iPhone. Shall we?
I think better is a strong word. Like I said, people like them for different reasons.
Okay, well,
but go ahead.
Yeah, we can all play together in the same playground. It's okay.
So for Apple, we're gonna go down Apple. We're gonna go down the Apple road, eat the red apple, the forbidden fruit. We're gonna do that first. The updates are faster, and you guys get continued support. Would you guys agree with that?
Sounds fair.
Maybe. Who do you get? Well, yeah, we get support because the Apple Store environment and ecosystem. You can't doubt that. Nobody else can beat the way Apple addresses their consumer with the Apple Store model. So yeah, right. I do agree with that.
And remember, a lot of their focus is on customer service. Yeah. So they're really about that. And if not, thank God they opened up insurance for the phones. Because before smartphones, you couldn't get insurance. Mobile insurance for smartphones. So
second, you guys get AirDrop. So we don't, as Android, we don't get the AirDrop. So
that's nice, brother. So look, AirDrop is nice, brother.
Can you tell the people who are Android lovers what AirDrop is? Real brief. Keep it simple.
Yeah. Well, and Android has functionality, but it's not integrated. And the fact that everything from in the Apple ecosystem is integrated across each device. So I can literally move a picture, a song, a contact card, or anything from my phone to my laptop to my iPad to another iPhone seamlessly, but just by 2 or 3 clicks. Right, so being able to transfer content across multiple devices is very seamless.
Okay.
And it's not Wi-Fi. It's not necessarily Bluetooth. It's Apple proprietary networking connectivity. Right. So you're able to move content back and forth.
Whereas Android, we're not hip to the NFC technology. We're not hip to transferring data, syncing it, unless we're using Microsoft Teams or Google Drive or whatever.
Yeah.
Unless we
Yeah. So again, I mean, Android can do it. It's just
right.
it's just a little more convoluted to do it, but you know,
Correct.
it's very
Extra
seamless
steps.
from the iOS platform. Yeah.
And I don't like Teams.
Third, you guys have FaceTime. Google Duo has come out, but Google Duo is not as popular as FaceTime. Let's just call it what it is. People who are on Android, we still do Facebook Messenger, we do Instagram Messenger, but when it comes to FaceTime, I mean, I'm pretty sure.
And FaceTime's integrated into the OS, so I just find the button real quick. I don't have to go look for the app. It's like, oh, here's FaceTime. I'm ringing.
All right. So next, they say your animations are cool, but you have a low refresh rate of 60 hertz. So whereas we had that 120 hertz. So
hold on, we gotta address this. Yeah, this is one of our partners right here watching, and he's down in the weeds. Android.
We gotta keep going.
Okay, we're gonna come back, Verge. We're not gonna leave this hanging, brother. We see you player.
So you guys got dark mode with timers for from sunrise to sunset.
That's
care about that. Okay.
That's neat. It's not a must-have, but it's neat.
It helps me at night because I'm blind. I was like, that brightness.
They say your battery life lasts a little longer while it's off the charger. So when you go to bed at night, they said that something along the lines of you may lose anywhere from 2 to 5% overnight when it's off the charger, not using it in standby time, as opposed to Android where we might lose 10 to 15% overnight.
Yeah, your devices, Android devices, are typically pinging back to their server or whatever, and our apps they have to, by Apple standards, sleep, right? They have to be very low power and less CPU heavy. So true. Yeah.
Okay. Next, your apps are developed a little bit better because they have to go through a strenuous test. So we can't argue that. You can't argue it because every event that I've gone to, most people say that we're only in the iOS store or the App Store, but we're not in the Google Play Store. And I'm like, I can't interview you because I'm an Android guy. So I get it, but you pay that $99 developer fee, you're in there. Your smartwatch is by far, hands down, if you have a smartwatch, the Apple smartwatch, by far, it's hands down the best thing that's out there that's compatible with the phone.
That's compatible with the phone, but I would say that there are some nice devices like Samsung, the Galaxy, their smartwatches, their fitness watches, they're pretty nice. The OS is cool and the different shapes. Look, we're stuck with the same
shape,
right? We can't change that.
There's not too much change in the band, but the color.
Yeah, you can get a Samsung or Fossil or some of the other manufacturers that integrate with the Google Watch OS, and you can have your standard round face or anything. So that's a real catch. I mean, it's almost like the FaceTime thing, right? Yeah, there's been more drops in songs of FaceTime, right? You've heard more artists talk about they FaceTime each other than you have someone talking about they're going to use Google Duo.
I'm just doing the research.
I know, and no, we jabbing you. Virgil's the only guy that's coming to your defense right here. With some of his it's 2 against 2 right now.
This is why Apple is better than Android, they said. And your last one, they said your face unlock may be better depending on the version of the phone that you guys have as far as your face unlock. And how many people actually use that feature as opposed to the thumb? You guys don't even have the pattern feature.
Which I want the pattern right now because every time I'm in the store, I got to pull my mask off. Right? If I still had my little pattern feature, I swear I was thinking about that yesterday. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. That's real because New York City just made a request to Apple to make unlocking phones with masks easier. Yeah. Just literally yesterday, it was in the
iris. What happened to the iris?
That should have been something that should have already been done. So,
Scan the iris.
So all right. So I talked about Apple. You can bring
it. Yes, you did.
Bring it on.
Let me get me something to drink. Hold on.
Y'all didn't do y'all's research. I did my research. So y'all, because like I said, you're not gonna embarrass me on my show. So
we just
my
bias. I know we just come in bias, but you know I'm trying to kick it and be neutral. EB is all Apple. You know that man is he got stock
Oh
in
my,
Apple.
I do got stuff, but what I'm saying, I'm not Apple. I said it depends on the situation. It depends on what I need because I still got Android phones. I got a Samsung phone that I use also for taking pictures and videos. I use for like if I can't find my iPhone. That's joking. But like I said, I'm talking to you from an end user perspective, from for myself, and I'm a technical person. I feel like I can get through a lot of things. It is cumbersome to get through to the Android. You really have to really kind of. It's almost like in an Android.
You ain't
It's
even
like
talking about what Android does. You're only talking about. We just got
I
off.
know what Android does, but let's go. Oh, I'm ready to listen.
You're supposed to be supporting Apple because I'm Team Droid. I mean, you say you had both, but you over there beating Android up.
I am not beating up
I expected
my goodness.
James to beat Android up, but you've been beating Android up since you got on the show.
Since you came to the party, I am EB come in just knocking stuff off the table.
End user's perspective, but go ahead. Let's do the Android.
All right, so here we go. When it comes to Android,
hold on, EB. You didn't know this was going. It's hard here, brother. You come into the lab.
It's a tough crowd.
This tough. You think unscripted? We talk hard and unscripted in the lab. Go ahead, bro.
All right, so when working on a project, Android does not take up the entire screen when a call comes in. So when your call comes in, your phone, if I'm correct, it just comes up with the name. So, go ahead.
No, I'll let you finish your statement because you're talking a valid statement, but I do have something for that.
All right, so basically, if I'm working on my project, their name will pop up on the top third of my screen. Whereas your phone will come up and you're in the middle of a project and you just got to take Tall Boy's calling.
Yeah, and it's a pain. It really is a pain, but that has been addressed. So I'm running the developers version of iOS 14, which comes out hopefully.
Now you working for iPhone for Apple?
Look, I told you, brother. I told you. I've been drinking the Apple Kool-Aid for a long time. So yeah, so I am running the developers version of iOS 14, and that is one of the major functions. When you call, it's just a small banner at the top, so it doesn't inundate you with. I don't need a full picture of Tall Boy when you call it. I just need a little small snippet.
Well, we 8 months in and they ain't figured it out in 2020.
So I can almost guarantee everything that you're going to say, I'm going to rebut and say has been addressed in 14. And yes, Apple has copied Android.
Not there yet. Yes, and you've copied us. So second, open source to use different brands such as the OnePlus, the Samsung, the LG, the Pixel, the Xiaomi. We have an open source. You guys are just locked into one.
Not going to do it.
Exactly.
Not going to do
Google Assistant is much more accurate than Siri.
What you think? What you think, E?
To me, I feel like they're both kind of the same, but
I don't like I got a couple of Google Homes, right? So and I don't know if my dad is on. And I gave him a Google Dot, or I forgot what it's called. It's good for
Echo.
See, it's good for checking music, but and all of that. But
talk to me.
That's a good point. So search music, it's decent, but I think Siri has been negligent, just like Apple Maps have been negligent, which is changing. Yeah, you don't have to hit us while we're down. I think you're right though. No, the whole Google ecosystem, especially for search, is no one can compare to that. Everyone, huge, they put Yahoo out of business. DuckDuckGo is just for technology folks who know about security. Right, not everyone that's on the show here knows about DuckDuckGo. So I said, and
I'm saying I don't.
you don't know about Duck? Oh my god!
I don't know.
And this man is supposed to be that is okay. We'll have another series about that. But I digress. And long story short, you are right. Google is slightly more advanced than Siri.
So Eric has said multiple times that he is a camera person and he's a photographer / videographer. And there's a shortcut for our settings if you need to go into the camera app, whereas you guys don't have that in iPhone.
There we do.
So you have a shortcut in the settings for your camera app?
Yeah, you can put a shortcut on the desktop.
Yeah.
There's a whole shortcut
Right.
app. There's a
There you go,
shortcut
buddy.
app. I can set up all my shortcuts
Yeah,
to go
desktop
to.
right
What I'm
there.
saying to
Boom.
you,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is that, so in your camera, is there a way for you to hit your settings in your camera app? You got your camera, you got the camera app open, so you're about to take a photo.
Yeah.
Is there a button that you can go into your settings?
Yeah, right here. I mean, what settings are you talking about?
If you needed to switch from not just 4K to 720.
Oh yeah. No, you
Okay.
gotta go
Good
to the
point.
settings. Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. All right.
You're right,
Okay,
right.
Touche, brother. Touche.
But
Golly.
what works for me is I don't really use that Apple app. I actually use Filmic Pro.
Right, so you're using an app as opposed
Yeah.
to instead of the in-base.
Yeah. I mean, but I'm telling you, I've taken some great pictures because I like the ability to control my aperture. I like the ability to have the.
Now, so let me counter EV on that. How much? Because Filmic Pro is definitely one of them prosumer apps, and that was how much was that? That's not a $2.99 app, right?
It's $7.99.
I thought it was more expensive
But
than that.
once
Okay.
again, all I'm saying is for the person that's just buying the phone right out of the box,
Yeah.
they're not going to go
No,
out
you're
there
right.
and download that app unless they're
Yeah.
a photographer or they know about that app.
Yeah.
But the
I
camera app
agree with
is
you.
good. The camera app is good, but you're right. I cannot go into the settings from the app itself.
All right.
I'll give. Hold on. So Corey, I'll give Android one more kudos on the camera. I remember I had a Samsung something, and you can actually take a photo, and you, the person taking the photo, can actually put yourself in the photo of the folks in front. You can
Well,
actually
that's
take
on
two
some
photos
phones.
at the exact same time.
That's
Yeah.
on some phones. Not on all phones, but that's
Okay.
on some phones.
I can do that with Filmic Pro too.
Oh, you can do that with Filmic Pro?
Yeah, I can do a Filmic
I'm
Pro.
downloading that right now. Then okay,
No,
hold on. Hold on. Look at my man with the. There it is. We definitely from the hood now. My man put his Minute Maid up there. He
We're
took
gonna
a sip.
get an endorsement coming up soon.
Shouts out to Minute Maid. Shouts out to Jameson right here.
So when you go on the Filmic Pro, it gives you this ability to go to double camera. So what I can do is if I'm interviewing somebody, I can have them in the frame and then me with the window at the top.
All right, but once again, that's in the app.
In the app, yeah.
Okay. No, I didn't know that, EB. So I'm about to, after the show, I'm gonna download that. So if you got any Apple credits or if anybody wants to gift that app to me, I would appreciate it.
All right, so moving forward, for Android, you can separate the alarm versus the ring volume, where your volume is just one volume for your ring. If I want my phone to be on vibrate, but I want to
Now you're getting picky. Yeah, you're getting picky now.
Yeah, because when any alarm goes off in the morning, I'm turning it off.
This is what makes these phones different. I gave you Apple, now I'm giving you Android.
Right. Yeah.
No, okay. Now you're getting personal with it. Okay.
The specific reasons why people want different features. Right.
Watching YouTube videos, you can have picture in picture. So if I'm watching a YouTube video, I can.
That's a good one. That's a good one. But that's changing in 14. It actually does have picture in picture. It's not there. No, it's not there. But it's good.
I'm gonna download it right now.
When it gets here.
Y'all have had it for ages. Y'all have had it for years. Yeah, we it's just now coming. No, that's valid.
So for the ones that's saying that, as Eric was saying earlier, that these end users are saying that they're having a hard time, it's like they're not taking the time to play with the phone. And I understand that they're using it for business, but it's like you still have to take the time out as if you got a new car. You want to get out there and get on that open road and press on that gas. And
well, there's a demographic. There's a demographic in the workplace, in the professional workplace where I've been. There's a demographic. Are there some young folks? Yeah, and they will take the time. But I'm telling you, people that are like, I'm working with project managers and PCMs, project control managers. They just want this. They just want it to work. They want it right away, and they don't want to mess around with the thing. So
Yep.
So we have the always on display. So like right now, my phone is turned off, closed, but I don't know if you can see this, but my time is already on the phone. It lets me know of any notifications that I have. So if I just need to, for whatever reason, just turn my phone. If my phone is laying down in a meeting and I turn it around, my always on display can be turned on as a feature. And I can always see if there's any notifications, if I have the time, whereas you have to actually touch that button.
We don't have that on the phone. We have that in the latest version of the Apple Watch.
Yeah,
So
that's a watch.
correct. Yeah,
That's an extra accessory that you have
that
to.
that is an extra accessory,
Yeah,
another $300 that you have to buy. But yeah, but that is very cool as well because I literally turn off my ringer, but I have some accessibility features turned on, so I have the flash that flashes. So it's upside down and just starts flashing. It scares the hell out of me sometimes, but yeah, I mean
I use Do Not
that
Disturb.
okay.
And the only people that can call me are on my favorite.
On your favorite list, yeah.
We mentioned this earlier, but we have multiple unlock features such as the fingerprint, the face,
Yep.
which is not that great. Yours is better. We have the pin, and we also have the pattern.
The pattern is dope. The
I
pattern
think
you got
Virgil
y'all.
said. I thought I saw Virgil said that they had the iris too, or
I
maybe
believe-
one of the phones have the iris.
I do believe that it's out, but I haven't fooled with it too much because like I said, I know my pattern. If anything happens, I need to get in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Whereas if it's late at night and it's dark, you may not be able to use that iris or use that face unlock. That's the great, it's going to be a little
Yeah.
They-
And
They
and
do
Apple
have
is
the pattern
really
in
good with
text.
ours.
In the iPhone, the pattern is in the when you're doing texting though, when you're typing in the typewriter on a text, when you do a text message, it does do pattern.
Yeah. I mean, Android had that forever, but
Yeah.
I think Corey's talking about unlocking the device, right? I mean,
No, yeah,
I
I know
had
exactly.
my
Yeah.
man. That was nice. I'm not gonna lie to you on that.
Yeah.
You can also pause video recording to stay in the same clip. Whereas when you guys are recording a video and you want to switch from front-facing camera to the rear-facing camera, you have to stop to have multiple files. Whereas with our phone, I'm pressing record and I switch over, it still continues. It just pauses and it still continues to record when we're ready. You guys don't have that feature.
That is true. I have to download software for that. Right.
Okay,
I have to use Filmic for that.
Touche, brother.
All right,
Touche. Okay.
Our keyboard has more features, and it also has that long press duration, and you can also resize our keyboard to fit our needs. So if I got big hands, I can stretch it out a little bit longer.
By default. Yeah,
Yeah.
we got to install some apps to get that done. We can do it, but yeah. So yeah, dang, okay. I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm just gonna, yeah, you got it.
And then let's see. I hate to do this to y'all, but Apple uses Samsung panels in their screens.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
I think that's changing. I think it's changing when they do the new phones, though. I think it's changing.
Wait, we're not there yet.
You're right. You're right. It's not there. You're not there yet.
You're not there yet.
I think it's changing.
But you guys are so adamant of telling me why Android is not as good as iPhone.
Man, you should have been a lawyer, brother. You should have gone into the legal field.
I have never. If we record, I've never said it's better than. I said I don't like to use the word better. I said what I like to do is for different features, for different things. But like I said, for me in a support role for folks, iPhone keeps me, so I can do other stuff and I don't have to worry about, at that time, I don't have to worry about, I can do my other job rather than supporting someone saying, hey, can you help me configure my phone? That's all I was saying. The end user experience is just different. I mean, it's just it's just user friendly, and like I said, when people are trying to get a job done, they don't want to sit there and have to configure. They want their phone already configured.
Well,
that's the only thing. That was the only thing from a supportive standpoint.
I got you, but I'm just saying when we have this Android versus iPhone battle,
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot. Once again, it does come down to preference, but then it
Right.
also comes down to luxury versus commodity, and it's how much phone can you get for?
That's a good point.
price.
That's a good point.
I mean, don't get me wrong. iPhone may be superior in a lot of functions, and you may try to sell me all day, up, down, left, right. But I mean, most people are looking for the cheaper. Like when I heard this foldable phone drop for $8.99 as opposed to $9.99.
You want more bang for your buck, exactly.
Yeah,
You want more bang for your buck.
Now, when
It's always good to have the options. You always
we
want
shift
options.
over to this Surface Duo in a brief moment, then who's going to pay $13.99 when you can probably get some of the same functions in an $8.99 phone?
Well, so let's go there right now, right? Because we've already talked about the capabilities that you have, right? The ability to have two screens. I mean, I'm actually blown away that you have the option of having one versus two. So the fact that you have that, the extensibility of your onboard memory and being able to expand that. I mean, that's incredible as well. The fact that you're running the latest you're probably running the latest version of Google OS, so you're down with that, and you paid three bills for it, right? $8.99, $7.99, whatever the case may be. Microsoft today, yes, announces this Surface Duo for $1,399 for a dual screen, and they say don't call it a phone, right? I mean, it's a hybrid between a tablet, phone, just mobile communicator. It's supposed to be the end all to be all, I guess, for them. It's running Android. It's not running any Windows OS or anything else.
Running Qualcomm Snapdragon 855.
So it's okay, right? It's not a slouch, right? It's not a slouch, but it could be better, just from an internals perspective.
You have a 5-point-inch screen, though. That's the only problem that I see with that.
So again, yeah, going into the specs, yeah, the main screen is 5 inches, folded out, and then you get 8.1, I believe. So again, you can do the same type of things that you can. You can have two different applications running on two different screens. You can fold it out. You've got, I believe it comes with Office 365 integrated. So I think that's a selling feature that Microsoft is trying to push with it. But $1,400, y'all. Anybody willing to drop that used car price for a phone? Well, back when my first car was about that price. You probably can't do that anymore, but.
I mean, I say it depends on how important it is to someone. People always ask me, "Hey, how can you do that?" It's like, "Hey, if you really want it, you're going to do it." So it depends on how important those features are to an individual. Because trust me, they're going to sell it.
Here's my problem: they're going to sell it, but here's the problem: battery life. It has a 3,500 or 3,577 milliamp battery, whereas this phone that I have has a 5,000 milliamp battery. So the battery is way smaller. Whereas if you even look at the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2 or the Motorola Razr, that are both foldable phones, when you look at that, their battery lives are 4,500 for the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold, and then the Motorola, which is a flip phone, it's got a 2,500, which is a flip phone. It's got a 2,500 milliamp battery. So I mean, it's kind of in the middle compared to this one right here. That's 5,000 milliamps. I mean,
you know how I knew that was coming out. You ever go to a game or a park or anywhere or Disneyland and see somebody with their iPad shoot bridges?
You be like, man, why don't you just want to throw something at them and throw some popcorn on them and put that iPad back, man?
Oh my God!
I mean, it's nice. And don't get me wrong, I'll wait for the price to come down a little bit. But I just got this phone here, and I'm in love with my LG V60. I love all the things that it can do, but I just think it's one of those things where, I had a friend that once told me, he said, you always want to be the first to get it. And I'm the first generation of everything. And the problem with technology, I get frustrated when the bugs hit, but I also love the freshness of that new. Whereas when you guys go get Apple, you guys as an Apple, users, Apple users are, you wait for it till it's perfected. So it may be 4th or 5th gen before it actually comes out. And then now y'all say, well, it's bigger, it's better, and it's more expensive, but this is why it is. But we went through those pains, and we were in the gym shooting with Android, when nobody else was in the gym shooting. So
you was putting that work in, weren't you? Okay, you was putting in that work.
And it's like when we go to CES, it's one of those things where we see it firsthand in its infant stages, and you can see a Samsung Pay, which is now Google Pay, or you can see a DigiLock, which is now whatever it may be, but you're seeing this technology in its infancy stages, and then you're able to grow with it, and you have a much more appreciation for it. Whereas with Apple, you guys say, "Oh, well, it does this." Well, when the foldable phone came out, I was the first one to have it. When it's perfected, then y'all gonna say, "Oh yeah, Apple's got the first foldable phone," and you talk about all the cool features. But I was with it when it was in its baby stages.
Yeah.
I hope Apple doesn't come out with a foldable phone. For me, I don't think a foldable phone is what I would get. But also, but again, looking at what that Duo, that Surface Duo is, I think they're trying. And when I'm looking at that, because this is the first time I've seen that Surface Duo. Thank you for sharing that picture. I'm thinking that they're trying to satisfy two needs: having your mobile phone and laptop.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? So I think at some point they're going to have probably an earpiece that goes with it, and you got your business with you everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Your laptop.
It's got the pen and everything, so it's trying to do everything
I think it's.
When you think of this is literally your business with you. You can do two things at the same time. That's a little bit bigger. So like you said, all they need really is an SD card slot. All they really need, honestly, is a Thunderbolt cable and an HDMI port, and you can go. I mean, and I'm pretty sure within the next 5 to 10 years, these phones will have that same technology as well.
Yeah. I think there is a need, or someone can see the value in that. $1,400. That's the cost of a laptop. Yeah. I mean, and this is just a mini laptop. Think about it. Who buys the 13-inch laptop? I mean, they're for children, but now you can do. I'm not saying they're always for children, but like it's small, it's portable. It's you can take it with you. I mean, I got the iPad Mini, before I got a regular iPad Pro. I had the, it was like easy to take somewhere. So I think there's definitely a market. So now that I'm looking at it.
So I'm going to say this with Android. And this is something that I read earlier today, and I took it as a quote. I don't know who said it, but it was on a YouTube video that I was watching. And they said foldable phones are not the future, but they are an indicator of the direction that the smartphone is headed towards. So as you can clearly see, last year at CES, they had the first foldable phone. Samsung had the Galaxy Fold. Now this one here. Yeah. Now we're seeing the Dual. It's not necessarily, what right now foldable is what's cool, but that's not. It's not that next big thing.
So is it going to outlive 3D televisions? Because 3D TVs were right. We were all in Vegas at CES when they were launching, and we were all in the room putting on the lenses and the headphones, and we thought 3D TVs was going to be it.
Yeah. It could be, but it could also remember the mini. I got a mini disc player sitting over here right now.
Wow! Put that on eBay. Put that on eBay.
Somebody wants nostalgia.
We thought the mini disc player was going to. I remember telling my dad, I have to have this $499 to invest into this mini disc player.
Wow!
And I thought was going to be the future, and then the next thing you know, the CD came out, and it made the mini disc player be a waste of.
Hell, in Japan, we had the DAT player. I had a DAT player in my car in Japan.
Yeah, sure did.
Man.
So you just never know when it comes to this technology. I'm just saying that all you can do is ride the wave. We understand that Apple is going to be Apple. Android is going to be Android. But I listed positives on both sides. I never said one bad thing about Apple.
You're trying to clear the air. You're trying to clear the air. Don't. It's on camera. We recorded everything.
And I even gave supporting facts. So I mean, he just gave end user opinions, whereas I'm giving.
No, it wasn't opinions. They actually had issues configuring it, and that's all I was saying. What
you were saying is, get me out of this phone, put me back into the phone that I'm most comfortable with, and that was somebody's opinion.
No, that's not what I said. You're putting words in my mouth.
I'm just
putting words in my mouth
and just be the referee, neutral party.
What I'm saying is, when people came in, because they asked us, because we'd give them two options. Yeah. Do you want the iPhone or do you want the Android or I forgot what it was. LG or maybe it was a Nokia at the time. I don't know. Whatever that Android
Motorola
was,
StarTAC,
something
like that.
So can you pull up real quick while he's talking about this that LG first phone, Android phone. And then I don't know if you can do a.
I like LG, so don't get me wrong. Life is always good. I like LG. I got LG.
Listen at you dropping mottos and slogans. LG shouts out to us. We here. If you want to do some sponsorship, we
I have nothing against LG.
Life
So
is
it was
good. I
originally
heard.
called the HTC Dream for international users, or the T-Mobile G1,
Mm.
and then iPhone had their operating system,
Oh man, I remember that.
OS One. So you can
That
pull
was
up
that was one of them first two-way
the two-way pages.
yeah, two-way pages. Oh God. Look at
Pull
this.
it up on the screen. I
Oh
did
my.
my research today, so
Oh,
Holy smokes.
one
yeah,
of, one of
Ladies
my
and
favorite
gentlemen, we
things.
flashing back.
yeah.
What
Ladies
a,
and gentlemen, we are
oh my
definitely
God! Look
flashing
at that
back
QWERTY
with this one
pad.
right here.
The
Hold
HTC
on, hold
Dream.
on. Y'all don't need to see all the email, and y'all don't need to see some of the things happening behind it,
See,
and what we charge. Hold
that's
on.
that's that MacBook over there.
Yeah, you don't need to see
You
what we
gonna learn
charge
mistake.
our folks that provide sponsorship to the site. Y'all don't need to see that. Let me close some of these windows. Y'all don't need to see what the rate card is. Yes, but there it is. There, I remember that. But no, see, that wasn't the one with the fold out. That one slid out. I
It's
do
split
remember
out
that one.
slider.
Yeah,
Yeah, slide. Yeah.
yeah, that's dope. Yeah, I remember that. I
Okay,
didn't
so
like it
so
though.
so we're talking phones. We're talking phones. We're talking technology. What about this merger with T-Mobile and Sprint?
Oh, oh,
I got AT&T. I've had AT&T since it was singular. Then I guess
since it was
took over.
singular wireless, golly.
Yeah,
All
it was the same number forever.
So I'm gonna say this. I've been a T-Mobile customer for years, since probably about 2012, 2000. I was probably on the first Jump program that they had, and
I'm sorry, you said junk or jump?
Jump, Jump.
I'm just messing.
Now
I was teasing.
Now I will say this: T-Mobile, I have a lot of love and appreciation for them. I've been with some others, such as Metro and Boost, when they were at their infancy stages. And I remember that you only had certain cities that had coverage maps.
Yeah, I pull up in my driveway, and my T-Mobile phone would just stop working. It wouldn't even not signal. I just couldn't get. It just
Right.
stopped working. That's all.
I've been with Verizon, and then I've made the move over here to T-Mobile. And for my needs as an international traveler, as someone that goes to these big events, T-Mobile's coverage is great. I think
but also for multitasking, because you need to be on a GSM network because of multitasking.
Correct.
You want to be able to look at a YouTube video and be on the phone, right? So so Verizon ain't gonna work for you because CDMA.
Yeah, Sprint was on CDMA as well. And
Well, that's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying. But here, I think you're getting to this point. But T-Mobile must have come a long way because they bought Sprint. It wasn't the other way around.
Yep.
Right. So the thing with Sprint is they needed their coverage network, shall we say, to be able to expand with the 5G.
Exactly.
And so they had the GSM network to be able to go overseas and international, but they didn't have the coverage map for those rural areas, shall we say, for Sprint.
Exactly.
And so now that they've now merged together, and I'm not a Sprint or T-Mobile employee. T-Mobile has asked me on many occasions that you know more about these phones than we do. So I'm going on join the team, but it's not in. They gotta. I need to be up on school.
That's another
grade. So
that's all right. That's another show for another day. So okay.
Pay grade. But to make a long story short, I'm glad that T-Mobile did it as opposed to it the other way around.
Exactly.
And I think the Sprint user that's coming over to T-Mobile, I think that they will be really impressed.
They're gaining, right?
I think they'll be impressed once they start to see the programs and the features that T-Mobile offers. Shall we say?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see, right? We'll see.
Your services, respectively.
I'm sorry.
Who are your both Scoop? Who is your service?
So I'm with Verizon.
Okay.
Yeah, Verizon's done well by me. We have we have a cabin that we go to and need
I'm
some
AT&T.
rural areas. So
no, you was overseas and it was like I got to get on Wi-Fi.
Look, I didn't say anything about Paris and France. Look, I said our cabin is in somewhat of a rural area, and Verizon, the old CDMA, is still out there. See, now you got to throw me up in front of the You're right. Yeah, that's true.
Tall boy. I'm sitting there like I'm sitting at the Trevi Fountain, and I'm like, "Where you at, bro?" And you looking at me like, "I got to get to this store and ask for their Wi-Fi and at the Spanish Steps."
I got no connection, right? I got no bars, and you got 4 bars, and I'm like,
and this brother over there talking about, I just got to pull out the old map.
okay, no, you're right, you're right. Oh, you know, hopefully
you pulled out a Thomas guy. You pulled out a Thomas guy.
Put out an old school Thomas guy, right? You know, when the world opens up again, you know, hopefully by then my Verizon will be okay.
No, Eric, he did a "Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego?"
I did.
Dang.
Not you know, it's okay. I'm all right. Y'all can gang up on me.
But the good thing is, y'all was in Paris, and man, I gotta go.
Get your mind right, Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Italy. Yeah. I definitely gonna. As soon as this COVID goes away, man, that's the first thing we're doing is hitting it, traveling.
Well,
I don't know if we're gonna do the balling on the budget, but we got to do. They got another one called what is the airfare dollar airfares or something like that, or
But you know, I just bought the week of Corona, believe it or not, we found a ticket, and I know we're shifting out of tech and going into travel, which should be another show. But we found our ticket for $192 out of Boston to Barcelona. Mine was a 14-day trip, and my girl's, hers was a 7-day trip with her and her daughter. And they be a week after. I'll be there a week before, but the way the world is with COVID-19, it looks like we'll just be using that as a credit for our future.
Right.
Yeah, we're doing the same thing. We've got a trip that we were supposed to be doing actually. October. We were supposed to be going to Morocco and Spain and all that. So you know,
where you going, Marrakesh?
Watch out now. Yeah, we was going. We got the tickets. We're not going. But we got
Was it what Casablanca, Fez?
Yeah, we was gonna go hit Casablanca. I was gonna go do my little thing there. You do my Casablanca best impressions. So I tell you what, we're deviating, but that's a great segue for, I think, let's have that conversation on Unscripted sometime soon. So let's the three of us talk about that, because the lab is specifically kind of focused on technology, consumer technology, and things of that nature. But let's get all of our subscribers and viewers and listeners to listen to us and check us out on Unscripted. Yeah,
Virgil, I definitely appreciate you over here standing. Team Droid.
There you go. Let me
take a picture.
Appreciate you very much, because these Apple users, shall we say, they can talk all they want, but I brought the facts for Team Droid, and they couldn't even argue with me. So
I'll just say you bought some of that smoke.
Opinions. I had to come with facts.
Tell Tammy I said you bought that smoke. You bought that smoke.
I think it was the garlic butter salmon.
That's what it was. Folks, appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for the time. Everyone who made some comments or joined in to this session. Hopefully you got, again, some unbiased statements. Look, we're not trying to switch you from Android to iOS or vice versa. We just trying to
know your facts.
Just know your facts, and we're giving you our impressions of both platforms. Until next time, y'all be cool. We out.
Peace.